mgtow with the Vibe podcast coming at you with another episode. In this polo, Eclipse Monday, blocking the sun. Let me eclipse this light over here. You see that shadow? That's what it looked like. So I got a message for feminist men. I've had a lot of feminist dudes that comment on my stuff, and the number one thing they comment is that divorce isn't, or the divorce law and family law is not does not favor women. That's one thing they say. Well, you're ancient, yada yada yada. So we're gonna answer some of their questions, and then we're gonna go ahead and call them out today. First of all, according to Forbes, the number one reason women get divorced is growing apart or arguing. They look at lack of compatibility, lack of intimacy, too much conflict, affairs, parenting differences, which I didn't expect to see parenting differences up on the list over like 30-40%, which is crazy. I thought that would probably be a little bit lower, but that's up on the list. And so obviously lack of intimacy, too much conflict, affairs. But the number one reason is growing apart, arguing. And they say lack of commitment, and I think the lack of commitment part comes prior to the relationship. So you don't learn what it takes to be married until you're married. Like, people can sit here and tell you all day before you get married, it's a commitment. It's a lifelong commitment. They can give you the whole speech, give you the whole spiel. In fact, I remember for me going to the pastor and then having him give us it's the five I think it was 4 or 5 love language. I can't remember exactly. I can't even remember the book. That's how trash the book was to me. Now that I've grown, then I was like, man, this is pretty cool. But as I've grown over the years, I begin to realize that there really isn't 5 love languages. That's very feelings and emotion based, right? Geared toward women. Men, I think most men would agree with me, our love language is respect. And I didn't realize that at the time. And so what happened to me in my situation is, since I didn't think that respect was a love language or something that was necessary for a relationship, you allow yourself to not be respected for a long period of time because you're given this, well, you got the sense of touch or feel or gifts or, let me look it up real quick so I can make sure. I don't want to be telling y'all the wrong stuff on this 5 love languages, the book. Let me go look up what the 5 love languages are. Words of affirmation, acts of service, receiving gifts, quality time, and physical touch. That's what they said. And when no respect was nowhere in there. So that was all words of affirmation, emotions, acts of service, affect emotions, receiving gifts, affects emotions, quality time, affects emotions, physical touch, kind of, sort of. I think a lot of men probably would say that they fell in that category, which is what I thought too when I read the stuff. But what I learned over time is that those aren't really geared towards men. That's what I learned over time. And so, if you look at my prior podcast, the feminization of the church. So when you go to a church to get married, obviously you're going to get a feminized view of marriage. You're not going to get a very masculine view of marriage, right? You're going to get one side of it, but you're not going to get the other side of it too. And so I found out through years that respect was extremely important to me. And it's crazy that you had that as a man, you have to find that out over time. You have to find that out because you don't get it. So over time, you find out what's important to you. And I found out, man, respect is extremely important. But the pastor didn't tell me this when we went to marriage counseling. I feel like he should have said that. Like, that should have been in there because it's in the Bible. And that's what's crazy to me is that what's in the Bible wasn't even spoke about. Like, this didn't say nothing about respecting here, but it say respect in the Bible. Obviously, if the Bible says it, it's extremely important. And so my issue with it is, and this is, again, goes back to the feminization of the church, the feminization of men, just modern feminization of everything, that because it becomes so feminized, they can't even recite the word because respect ain't a feminine trait. Like, it's not a feminine thing. Let's be honest. Respect is something that is more on the masculine side. And when you look at the Lord, he speaks about respect a lot in the Bible. There's a reason why he speaks about it, because it's important. It's not something that just glossed over, right? What you don't see in the Bible is words of affirmation, acts of service, receiving gifts, quality time, physical. I mean, there is some stuff about about being physical in a relationship when you're with your spouse and you're married. There's stuff in there about that. So I'm not going to sit here and say that there's not, because there is. But the other stuff, you don't see that in the Bible. You know, it didn't say words of affirmation in the Bible. I'm like, where did it say that at in the Bible? But this is the book that we were given from a pastor, and that's what they based everything on. Well, you got to learn these five love languages. And so I think we learned some. I think that what was learned was some BS. I think that there is more to the story than what this book says. I applaud Dr. Gary Chapman, for his work in marriage counseling. But if you're a marriage counselor and you don't put respect on your list somewhere, I don't know who you counseling. Or maybe the men just aren't saying it. I don't know. The men that I've talked to, the men that I've spoke with, and men that I see that are speaking out on social media nowadays are speaking about respect. They're not speaking about words of affirmation, acts of service, none of that BS. And so, as I'm kind of going off on a tangent, but we'll get back to the important thing, which is the divorce. But this is the message to feminist men: is that the over feminization has made it to where we don't even have a say in what the love languages is. We don't even really have a say. I don't know how this counselor came up with this mess and said these are the 5 love languages. Bruh, my love language is respect. Why is mine not on there? Did you miss some? Like, did he miss some? Did he not talk to some dudes or something like that? I don't know. But so let's look at why men get divorced: lack of appreciation, lack of affection, lack of commitment, drug use by spouse. Those are the top 4 reasons that Forbes said why men get divorced. Some semblance to women. Lack of appreciation is different. Lack of appreciation goes directly into respect. So you can literally just say lack of respect, because if you appreciate somebody, if you respect somebody, you're going to appreciate them, right? Affection, that's the touch. Commitment, again, something that I saw on both sides. I think that's something that prior to the marriage that you can never be you never have the full understanding of what it means to be married until you kind of gone through it, gone through the obstacles, gone through the ups and downs. So when I say lack of commitment, yeah, commitment is every day. So I feel like you got to be fully invested 100%. And I think that both sides said that at some point on their list. Drug use by spouse was another one that kind of shook me. I didn't think that was even going to be on there. I didn't think that was a thing until I saw it on there. It says so. According to Forbes, 70% of divorces are filed by women. Forbes also said the national average of custody time, 65% of custody goes to the woman. National average, 65%. A couple of reasons why they say that happens. One, that the courts look at who's been taking care of the kids most. So doctor's appointments, dentist appointments, taking them to school, kind of like the stuff that typically moms do. So it's naturally going to shift a little bit of bias over to that side, because I don't know a lot of men. I mean, most men are working. And so if you have a stay-at-home mom, they're going to naturally do those things. Those are things that they're going to naturally do because, unless you're just going to get off work every single time, it's typically easier for the family if the man is working for the other spouse to do those things. So naturally, women are going to naturally do those things more often. And even in couples that are split up, that I know, the woman does more of the doctoring. So even though they both work, it's crazy. Like, they both work, and it could be on the dad's days, but the mom will still go take the kids to the doctor. So it's just a duty thing. It's a role thing. I think that women just grab that role and snatch it up and take it, and that helps them when it comes to divorce court. Women win custody rights battles 90% of the time whenever it goes to court and there's no prior plan. So if there's no prior plan of, hey, we're going to do 50-50, or hey, you're going to get him this week, then I get him next week, or you're going to get him the weekend. If there's no prior, if you have to go to court and the judge has to decide, 90% of the time a woman's going to win that battle. And again, it's because especially in the earlier years, women are seen as more nurturing, men are seen as less nurturing, women are seen as the better parent. That's a societal thing, and that's just what it is. Like, you get these simpy feminist men on that like to comment on stuff, and they're like, well, it's not like that, and yada yada yada, and divorce doesn't favor this, and I'm just like, and it'd be dudes getting divorced that be saying that. I'm like, bro, you just butthurt, like 100%. And if you're butthurt, feminist, soft dude, like, be butthurt, that's cool, but don't bring that over here. We don't need that on this side. And so, obviously, family court and divorce law is heavily skewed towards women. I mean, we can't really defeat that. We can't battle that. We can't say that ain't what it is because we see it. In my line of work, I see it. I go into houses all the time where you'll have a woman, and it's a single mom. She got 4 kids, 2 different baby daddies on average. Kids' clothes are raggedy. They sleep on air mattresses. Mom got a nice car. Mom got her hair done, got her nails done. She looking all fly. She got this boyfriend over there. The son's having problems with the boyfriend. So then we get called out there because son called the boyfriend this, or son's not listening to the mom that, and it's just crazy. And that's my experience. That's my experience most of the time. That is what I see in my field of work. And so when I show up out there and I see this, it literally just hashes in more of this issue here. Hashes it in, beats it in like a dead horse. But you'll have these feminist dudes, these soft, simpy dudes out here that think that they know something, or they're just trying to do that because they want to look good for women when they don't even have a woman themselves. And so they'll try to look good for women and say some simpy soft stuff, but they don't have the experience to back none of that up. They don't have no kind of receipts to back any of that up. They're just out here talking. And it's just crazy to me because I literally see this stuff on a daily when I go to work. When I put the uniform on and go to work, I'm walking out here and I'm like, dude, this is crazy. This is absolutely crazy. One of the worst is meeting somebody that I think she had like 8 kids. She had like 8 kids. It was crazy. 8 kids, 3 different baby daddies, in like a 2-bedroom apartment. And I mean, her car was nice. She had a little Chrysler 300 on rims, was nice, tinted windows, all the jazz, all the workings. And I'm like, well, child support's supposed to go to the kids, but it ain't going to the kids, obviously. And it's crazy how obvious it is when I go out here. I wish I could just report these to the damn family court judges and get them to start switching some things up, but it is what it is. But off my experience, based on what I've seen in the field, that's about consistently what I see. I mean, I've met a couple single dads out there that have their kids and got full custody, but it's few and far in between. It don't really happen that often. Custody battles, people will be like, oh, I got custody battles, and the mom will be holding the kids from the dad, and it's crazy because unless a judge says that we can do something, we can't do anything. And so it puts us between a rock and a hard place. But I see this stuff on a daily. It's pathetic. It's ridiculous to me. It's absolutely ridiculous. But that's because of the feminization of our society. And so now men feel like they can't have a backbone because if you have a backbone, you're toxic masculine or what the heck ever these feminist dudes call it. Basically, a feminist man is a man that hates himself. That's essentially what he is, because feminism is all about man hate. And if it's all about man hate and you're a feminist dude and you're backing this feminist crap, you hate yourself. And I'm like, if you hate yourself, you don't need to come on and try to make me hate you because I don't care about you. You're just like an ant. Just keep walking and let you do your thing. You can go take all of your stuff to the queen because that's what you feminist dudes are out here doing. It's pathetic. But we need to understand that when you emasculate men and you put them down for so long, and then it comes time to battle, they're probably not going to battle. But then you still get whatever you want as a woman. You still get whatever you want. And so, yes, it is 100% skewed toward women. I mean, you can't even go to church or have a pastor talk to you about marriage. When you're getting ready to get married, you go to pastor. Some of us are Christian, we go to pastor. You can't even have him talk about marriage without making the man feel like he can't have shit in the marriage. Like the woman got to have everything. And it's always is happy wife, happy life. That's what they say in churches. That's some feminist BS. If you say happy wife, happy life, slap yourself. It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my entire life because your life definitely ain't happy. The people out here saying that shit is sad as hell. But they want to try to tell everybody a happy wife, happy life. You guys are killing me. Absolutely killing me. And the crazy thing is that as we continue down this road, more men will start to hate themselves. And then you just got men hating themselves, women hating men. And then it just makes being a masculine male in our society over here in the West is basically, it's like the minority. It's become the minority, the hated. And it's just crazy to me. And so my message to these men, real quick, before I get out of here, that hate themselves essentially, are feminists. Anything that's masculine is just, it's bigger balls, this and that. I remember I posted something on Facebook about how, and this is basic science, this is basic basic stuff that people understand and especially in the military, right? The men who go to war are usually the strongest masculine men. They go to war, right? Now, if you take out the men, you can easily fold the society. It's simple. But these dudes are like, that sounds like some big balls. My balls are bigger than you guys. That's why we have wars. Because this is what feminine men are saying on this post. Like, it's retarded as heck. Like, nobody even said anything about balls being bigger or anything like that. But they brought that up because they said, well, where'd you get that masculine mindset from? I'm like, dude, like, that's common sense. Like, if you want to fold a society, right, a civilization, you take the men out. Like, that's who I don't know, understand where they got the junk that they got. And it's crazy because then you can't even really reason with these people because they're so stupid and dumbed down and can't think for themselves that they have to be told what to do. They have to be told stuff because, again, they're feminine men. They're not going to tell nobody nothing. They got to be told. And so they come on here, they battle, and then they're like, they one of them said some crazy mess, man. He was like, well, if women were in charge of the world, there would be no war. I'm like, bro, what? Like, what? You think war would just disappear if women were in charge of the world? I'm like, dude, women can't even stop themselves from fighting. Like, and this dude's a high school teacher. He was a high school teacher. Women can't stop themselves from pulling hair in a fight. Like, dudes are boxing and get it over with. Women, they will fight to the death. I'm like, bro, how you think it won't be no war if women are in charge of the world? Like, bro, what? Like, that's the amount of hate that he has for himself is just pathetic. It's sickening. It made me sick just like reading these dudes' comments. It's simple-minded feminist men that have been overly feminized. Like, they've gone so far to the other side that there ain't no coming back. And that's the goal. Because men like that are not protectors. They're not going to protect the kids from the BS that's out there. They're probably with the transgenderism. Let's make all kids different genders. They're probably the ones that go with that mindset, that do that dumb stuff. And it's retarded to me. It's stupid. Like, I don't understand why you would want to emasculate yourself as a man. Like, for me, I love being a man 100%. I put that in my post. I posted back. I said, dude, I 100% love being a man. So you're not going to make me hate myself. Just because you hate yourself don't mean you're going to make me hate myself. I love being a man. And I think that men like that spew out this dumbness of what masculinity is. They're like, well, you beat up women because you're masculine. I'm like, more likely you soft dudes are going to probably beat up a woman because y'all soft as heck. Skin ain't thick. Like, you can't take nothing. If you say one word that even, you can say men to these people, and I'm like, what kind of big ballsy masculine stuff is that? You didn't even say nothing about masculine or balls or none of that, but they'll bring that up because they don't have thick enough skin to actually talk to you and reason with you. So they're unreasonable. Some of the most unreasonable men that you'll ever meet are feminist men that subscribe to the feminist mindset and think that men are bad. I'm like, how could you be a man and think that yourself is bad? Like, but whatever got into, and typically liberals act like that. Typically you get that from liberal people. Like, that's how they act. And it's just ridiculous to me. I'm like, dude, you guys are far-fetched out there. It's crazy. Like me, I'm just like, dude, be a man, take care of your business, take care of your family, protect them, provide for them. Like, the stuff that men normally, that's what I be talking about. But they come at you and be like, well, you're just big balls and women can do this and that. And I'm like, I ain't never once said what women can and can't do. Like, I don't even talk about that. You'll never hear me say that on my podcast. You've never heard me say that in real life. A masculine man focuses on himself. A masculine man will focus on himself. So I'm focused on myself and what I'm doing, what I'm trying to bring to the table and bettering myself. I'm not focused on somebody else. A feminine man, a feminist man, will focus on everybody else but himself. So instead of trying to better himself, he's going to try to bring other people down to his level because he knows that he ain't shit. So he'll bring you down to the ain't shit level. That's essentially what these feminist dudes are out here doing. So they'll pick fights with you. Like, you won't even post anything that has anything to do with them, and they'll still feel the need to comment. They'll be like, well, everybody's just disagreeing with you. And I'm like, dude, you need to be disagreeing with yourself. And so to end my message to the feminist men out here, I pray that you guys stop hating yourselves, start loving yourselves again. Go to counseling. If you need counseling, that's my dog back there. His name Lucky. Go to counseling if you need counseling, because obviously something's triggered up here, and y'all need to like unwind it a little bit so y'all can like calm the heck down and actually have reasonable conversation. Most of these people will spew hate online, These are traits of feminist men. They'll spew hate online. They'll be hating on everything. They can't make a statement without hate. Like, there's no reason. You can't be reason. You can't. They're not reasonable, so you can't reason with them. And so, like I said, I had to put out these divorce facts because had some simpy dudes, some feminist dudes commenting on some prior stuff. I want to go ahead and put some facts out there for them because this is purely a message to feminist dudes. If you want to learn how to be masculine again, call me. You don't even have to subscribe. Just send me a message on the bottom, and then I will get your email. We can talk about how to get you back up to your masculine ways. Because we don't need more feminine dudes out here. It's enough. It's enough feminism running rampant that we don't need more dudes to just be going under to the feminist rule. So, hope that you guys like this. To all my masculine men out there, stay up, stay doing what you're doing. Focus on you, better yourself. Don't be letting these feminist dudes bring you down. Don't be letting these feminist dudes make you hate yourself. Love yourself, which is key. If you love yourself, then you don't care what nobody else think anyway. And that's just me. So when these feminist dudes come at me, they think I care what they think. I don't. I could care less, guys. Keep trying, though. I hope that you succeed. GT, I'm out.